Hi there, I'm Emma O'Brien, stress management specialist and a coach. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about 4 common time management stressors that you might be experiencing in your life. So time, or the perception that we have a lack of time, is a really big stressor. If you feel like you are constantly working against the clock to get everything done and you're still not managing to fit it all in, this can be a narrative that continually runs internally. I don't have enough time. There isn't enough time. That in itself is a big stressor. And there are possibly 4 ways here, and you might be able to relate to one or all of these, that this shows up for you. And the first one is feeling overwhelmed, feeling like you have too much to do and literally not enough time to get it done in. What happens when we get overwhelmed is you can end up sitting and not really knowing where to begin, not knowing where to start. And that is a feeling that can lead to procrastination. That'll be when you reach for your phone and start to doom scroll, or you'll suddenly remember there's a kitchen drawer that needs to be tidied now. And of course, what happens when we procrastinate is literally the workload piles higher and higher and higher, and it becomes more and more out of control. And then we end up stuck in a cycle of overwhelm, and we try and soothe with procrastination in an attempt to escape from the feeling of overwhelm. So you can start to deal with the overwhelm and reduce the oppressiveness of it by learning to prioritize tasks. So being able to understand which are important and which to start with, and sitting down and just getting on with it. The second thing is poor time management. And this is just not having a track of time, not keeping tabs on how long tasks are taking. And the way to get over this one is to learn to schedule things in. I like to use a to-do list, and the way to effectively use a to-do list is not to put too much on it. If you constantly have 20 things on a to-do list every day and you only get through 10 of them, let's say, you've got 10 things that are rolling over to the next day, and it's a never-ending to-do list, which is completely demoralizing and very stressful. So the way to effectively use a to-do list is limit it to a certain number of tasks each day. And you can start to experiment with this, of what it might look like for you, and stick to it. And what will happen, you'll be able to tick off the tasks as you get them done. Every time you do that, you have a small win, you get a hit of dopamine, and you feel good, and it reduces stress. The third thing is literally taking on too much and underestimating how long things are going to take. Many people are literally skidding in sideways from one meeting, one appointment, one thing to another, and there's no room for maneuver in between. There's no room for, the dog needs to go to the vet, or a child needs to go to the doctor, or you have an extra appointment you need to go to. Maybe you need to go to the doctor. You might well do if you're completely stressed out all the time. If you can learn to add a buffer into your day, it takes that crazy, hectic schedule feeling out of everything. Just give yourself a little bit of space over the course of the day. That will reduce your stress levels. And the last one is struggling, or perhaps being unable to set good boundaries. And this might look like saying yes to every task that comes your way, both in your personal life and your professional life. And it is a recipe for burnout and resentment. It can be scary to put a boundary down. It can be scary to say no to other people. If you're in a work environment and you've got somebody who's more senior than you who is making requests, it can be very difficult to say no to that, because I think that there's always the worry of I'll be overlooked for a promotion, or they'll think I'm, being unhelpful, and it doesn't look very good. So we can tend to just keep taking things on in an attempt to please other people. It is a one-way ticket to burnout. So I encourage you to learn the art of setting good boundaries. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be offensive. You just need to give people an alternative option. I can't do that today. My schedule is already very full. I can get to that in 2 days' time. Does that work for you? Often things that are urgent, seem urgent, are not necessarily that urgent. So communicate with people. Communication, however, can be a challenge if you have grown up with an unhealthy attachment style where it wasn't safe to speak your feelings when you were growing up. It's going to be difficult to do it, and as an adult in personal and professional lives. So I encourage you to learn the art of calm communication, which is what I'm going to be covering in tomorrow's video. So make sure you join me for that. And in the meantime, I invite you to check out my 4-week stress less group coaching program, which is starting on Tuesday, the 8th of October, where I'm going to be covering more in-depth time management strategies and skills, as well as the art of calm communication. So I will see you same time tomorrow. Bye for now.